Prices are rising around the world. Now interest rates are going up to deal with the crisis. This is News Review from BBC Learning English. I'm Neil.
And I'm Beth.
And we'll be looking at the vocabulary being used to talk about the global economy.
Remember, there's a quiz on our website about the vocabulary in this programme. But now, some more on that story. Food and energy prices are rising across the world, meaning millions now face tough choices in their daily lives. Economists blame a combination of COVID, the war in Ukraine, and poor harvests. Now central banks are putting up interest rates to try to control the crisis.
You've been looking at the headlines. What's the vocabulary?
We have the spectre of something, into the mire, and tightrope.
This is News Review from BBC Learning English. Let's have a look at our first headline.
This one comes from The Guardian. Fight against inflation raises spectre of global recession.
Now, the expression that we're looking at is the spectre of something. A spectre is a ghost, isn't it?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And you're probably wondering, Neil, why are we talking about ghosts?
Yeah, I am. Is it because a ghost is a scary thing?
Well, yes, it is. The spectre of something is the possibility of something bad happening. So, in this case, it's a possible recession.
So, for example, we could talk about the spectre of climate change or the spectre of nuclear war. These are really serious things. But could we also use this for more light-hearted situations? For example, the spectre of my dentist appointment next week?
No, not really. We use this expression for unpleasant things that may happen in the future and will probably happen to a lot of people. And by the way, there's a spelling difference. So spectre in British English ends in RE, but in the US it finishes with ER.
Okay, let's have a look at that again. Time now for our next headline.
This one comes from City AM. Inflation and recession concoction sends global markets into the mire.
The expression here is into the mire. And the mire is an area of muddy, dirty, swampy ground, difficult to move through. You can get stuck.
Yeah, that's right. But in this case and in this headline, we're not talking about a physical place, but we're talking about a tricky or difficult situation.
So if the global markets are in the mire, it means they're in a bad situation. Can we talk about people, though, using this expression, into the mire or mired in something?
Yes, we can. And we do very often hear this with politicians. So if there's some kind of political scandal, we can say that the politician is mired in scandal. And there's an element of them doing something bad or they've done something unpleasant.
Okay, let's take a look at that again. Now for our next headline, please.
This one comes from the Indian Express. Partha Sen writes, the inflation tightrope.
Tightrope. Beth, have you ever been to the circus?
I have when I was a child, but I really didn't like the clowns.
Oh, what's wrong with the clowns? Do you know what I really like, though? It's that act where you walk along a rope. You could fall off. There's danger on either side. Now that is called a tightrope.
And in the headline, we saw tightrope used to talk about a situation where even a little mistake can lead to disaster.
So what the headline writer is saying is that dealing with inflation can be very difficult to do successfully. There is risk, there is danger. There's also a longer version of this expression, to walk a tightrope.
That's right. And to walk a tightrope is to deal with a very difficult situation. So imagine that you're planning a wedding. You've got to think about who you're going to invite and also how much money do you have?
Yeah, and who are you going to leave off that guest list? Okay, let's have a look at that again. we've had the spectre of something, a bad thing that is coming your way.
Into the mire in a bad, difficult, perhaps scandalous situation.
And a tightrope. A small mistake and everything could go wrong.
So don't get stuck in the mire with your English. Head over to our website or our app where you can practice all of the vocabulary from this program with a quiz. And there's more examples there as well.
Thank you for joining us and goodbye.
Bye.